Hey, what's up? Listen, we was having some technical difficulties, okay? But we in this thing. Welcome to Creative Emotions, where you're going to get this motivation, this encouragement, information, transparency, empowerment, and you're going to get these good vibes, okay? Whether you like it or not. Give it up for Mr. Chef in the building. What's up, Chef?
Oh, it's Red Wednesday.
Red Shirt Wednesday.
Red
I took my
Shirt
red off.
Wednesday. Yes.
I took my red off.
Oh,
But thank you for continuing to wear yours. You know that's my favorite color, right?
I know. Now I thought it was yellow.
What? That's one of them.
That's
my
one
bike,
of them
my
too?
motorcycle, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But thank you guys so much for joining today again. We usually come on at 6. We had some technical difficulties, so we're going to keep it moving because you know how it is. So I want you guys to know this is a live show. You can call in at 313-266-2811. I want to remind you of Friday Poetry and Conversations, 21573 Grand River, 8 p.m. to 11. It is a $10 cover. It's going to be good vibes, dope energy, and I have a special feature, Toriana Williams. She's such a sweet soul. So I want you guys to come and experience that. Again, it is open mic and it is conversation. So we're able to kick it and talk and just vibe. You know, it's all about them vibes, man. So we're going to get right into it because, you know, we did come on a little late. I thank you guys so much for joining. Make sure you share this with your family and friends. You know, the energy that's happening right now with social media, it's getting pretty bad. And I have not seen it slow down. I actually seen people become famous off of Facebook posts, somebody else's Facebook post, not even their own Facebook post. They have become famous on, you want some of that?
Mm-mm.
Oh,
Why
no. They have become famous off of somebody else's hurt. And so we need to talk about this thing. We need to be mindful of this thing. Tonight's show is about public hurt. So you're hurt and you take it to the public. And what does that look like? And what are the consequences? Because we have to be mindful of, you know, whatever it is that we do as grown adults, we have to know that there are consequences. So who's here for the drama? Listen, you know, in Hollywood, you know what it is.
You know what it is.
People exposing other people, whether it's true or not. They ready for the drama.
They ready.
Like, what? You're not even like trying to solidify, you know, what's being said and take it in and do your own due diligence and, you know, your checks. We immediately taking what we see and we're making it fact. And so this is what this show is about. Public hurt. People are hurt and they're taking it to the public. Thank you so much for joining. I want to give a big shout out to everybody on YouTube watching. Thank you so much. I know a few people came off. We were a little delayed. What's up, Eric? Thank you so much for joining. Make sure you share this with your family and friends. Again, hurt people are continuing to hurt people.
I don't know. I think hurt people are trying to profit off of hurting people.
That's a real thing too, and that's your opinion, but it is what it is.
Yeah, you know, some people are trying to make a whole retirement plan out of it.
Okay, you know what? You know what? Nah, hold on. But hurt people.
You said we was going to talk about this thing, right?
No, we're talking about it.
Oh, okay.
Hey, it is what it is. But hurt people that continue to hurt people, whether they are in their life or out of their life, that's a little toxic. And on so many levels.
Yes.
Like if you're no longer with the person, like I have nothing to say about my ex. When people come to me, I have nothing to say about friends that I no longer talk to. When people come to me, I have nothing to say to the hurt that happened with a past family member. I have nothing to say. You know why? Because I've forgiven. I went through my work. I went through my healing work and my healing journey. And I'm not out to blast people for what? Like, time will tell whether a person is about that life or not, like, no matter what. But it's really sad, the hate, jealousy, envy. It's like, it's so dangerous, but it's so out here. You know, when you think about the rappers that they're killing each other. I mean, like, people that they are cool with, people that they hang with, people they vibe with, people they in the same room with. You that mad that you're willing to harm another person. So this is the climate that we're dealing with. Again, if you're just joining, we are talking about public hurt. People that are hurt and they take it to the public. You take it to the platforms that, that's rapid. Like, you can't even take it back.
Can't take it back. Media footprinting.
It's out there.
Forever.
Ooh, Lord. You got something to say about that?
Oh, yeah. I come to realize that people enjoy believing false statements. Reason why? Because people enjoy being entertained.
Yes.
So being honest and straight to the point with some accountability, it's not hot. So it's not hot, right? It's nothing you can really do with that. No one's going to say, you know what, today, Q had a moment. She was so open about it and genuine and honest. They'd be like, okay, all right. So what are people doing? They're rolling with the lie. They're rolling with the lie.
Okay.
And I thought about that deeply today. And I said, people actually enjoy false statements because we like to be entertained. That's one of the reasons why we stay on social media the way that we do.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So they can keep this thing rolling for a while until the next hot thing hits social media. And then you're old news.
Wow.
Right.
That's true. Eric said, good topic. Let's unpack this.
Yes.
Detroit Metro Plug podcast. Thanks for the invite to the show. Love the topic. Amen. Won't he do it? We have to talk about this thing. It is like, oh my God, it's crazy. But people who live for attention, even if it's drama and trauma, they're like all over it. I have never seen so many people get famous off of someone else's original post. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, absolutely. I've seen it.
So either you taking a video of some trauma, somebody fighting, somebody getting their head bust, something tragic happening, and you become famous, right? Not even famous, but acknowledged or liked or whatever. And it's taking people and so I think everybody is on this attention-seeking, just pride and like boost my pride and ego so I can see that you like it and I got all these people and these followers. And, I had a person come to me and say, I rap, but did you see that I posted this video happened down in Miami? I said, no. He said, man, I got 14,000 followers. I said, well, did you get those followers because of the content of what you posted or because of what you posted because you was in the right place at the right time? He like, well, yeah, but people still, they still listening in it. And so this is what I want people to understand. Getting famous off of somebody else's trauma and drama, that's not what's up. And I'm just going to call a spade a spade. It's not what's up. Like, it should be your own original intent, product, whatever it is that you do, whatever God has given you, whatever the download was that you were supposed to do in and on this earth, this time, space, reality. If you blowing up because of that, kudos. But if you sitting here and you posting drama and trauma, or you are taking people and dissecting them and judging them and going in on them, how can you even feel good about that? Like, if somebody say, what you do? Oh, I take videos and I dissect them and I talk about what they doing and I judge them and people like it. What are we doing? What are we doing? We're talking about public hurt. People that are hurting and they pushing whatever it is that hurt them. How is it affecting you? It's definitely going to affect you. So how many can say, honestly, that you talked about somebody? I can say I talked about somebody. When I was going through my marriage, man, I was going in. I mean, every time I could even think about something, I'm like, I'm sick of this. I was going in. But did I make up something? No. But that's what's happening. People are making up stuff now. They fabricating to make it even juicier, like, for the gram. I ain't make up nothing, but should I have been talking about my business to people that really don't care? No.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, and I think I said this before, they'll take an original story and add to it to make it a bestseller, right?
Yeah.
For, like you said, for the entertainment purposes, or maybe to build them a foundation in a business.
It sounds personal.
It is. So, very. But
That sounds.
yeah.
Wow.
So
okay.
I didn't have, like, when I went through my divorce, it wasn't in me to go public anyway. Because, just being a man and stuff, I just thought it was pretty petty.
Yeah.
And even if I had thought about it, I was too busy dodging daggers and just being outdone from what was being posted.
Wow.
Right? So that right there, it was never in me. And if you find yourself a victim of this, like you said earlier, and I was going to touch base on this also, just be quiet and sit back.
Listen, vengeance
Right?
is mine, saith the Lord. A lot of stuff you ain't even got to do or entertain.
Because the reason why, you just want to sit back and be quiet, right?
Yep.
Let time tell your story.
Yeah, that's good.
And it'll show everybody what you didn't say. I know one of my good friends, Fifi, she had told me once when I was going through my situation, she said, well, Fred, remember this, because she said, I think her grandmother told her.
Yeah.
She said, a lot has to be told, and the truth will tell itself in time. And that stuck with me. Even when there's moments when I wanted to defend myself, I didn't want to put back that hurt. I could have said a lot of hurtful things, right? So where are we at with this thing, right? So when we're going public, and I'm just going to stick with this, when we're trying to hurt someone, you got to remember at that moment, that person probably sat down with you and had vulnerable moments and told you personal stuff.
Yeah.
Right? So what you're actually doing when they're out here and they may be scandalizing your name and your character, I know all about it, what the person really doesn't know is you're really showing your character.
You are.
So any mature person will say, and this is for people who are a victim of this, they will say, you know something, this is just how this person's going to do me if I upset them. Or don't go with their plan. So actually they're shooting their own self in the foot, right? In the future. Not only that, it's media footprinting, so it never goes anywhere.
Never.
Never.
Mr. Eric Fowles, he said, people want everyone to indulge in their mess. Miss Cynthia Bridges said, great topic. Eric came back with it. I never understood people sharing too much information on social media. But I want us to be true and honest with our feelings, though. Like, we may feel these things, right? So how many people can say, like, when you're hurting, you want somebody else to feel this? Like, you know what, you know what? If you can be honest and say, you know what, yeah, I feel those things, but is it conducive to any, like, your growth, your health, your character? No, it is not. And so social media has become a diary where people just put all their dirty laundry, honey. Listen, you know everything about everything.
Everything. They go deep with it.
It ain't even no, like, cut off. Like, some days I be clutching my pearls. Like, oh my God.
They like, well, mom, you say to the rooter to the tutor. They telling it all.
Listen, so fellas, watch your back. Ladies, don't send no pics. Men, don't send no pics.
Stop sending them pics.
Stop sending people pics. Nah, come on now.
I know. I never understood that.
Just
You already
stop.
know what you're working with. Stop that.
Unless it's your husband, your wife, you just trying to get them through the day until they get to you.
No. Do a video call. But please, don't send no pictures.
Come on now.
Even when you're married, do a video call because you never know. This person may be in character.
No. Listen.
You know what I'm saying? Good thing I ain't taking no pics. Them boys would have been out there too. And only
He's speaking from experience.
Yes,
clearly.
and only can I live to laugh about it right now, right? and then you have to. This is a lesson in life. We're going to talk about this thing, and we're going deep.
Yeah,
Deep. I'm telling it all.
You just You just gotta be real. Listen, make sure you share this with your family and friends. If you are just joining, we are talking about public hurt and, you know, how hurt people put all of their information out in the public, even when you just going through something, right? You feel like you don't have anybody to talk to, so you go to social media. Social media is not the place. Yes. It's not. I know some people that say, "Hey, I'm not on Facebook," but then you on YouTube like crazy. It's the same thing. You writing, commenting, saying stuff like social media is social media for the people in the back. It doesn't matter. You on Instagram, but you ain't on Facebook. You on TikTok, but you ain't on Instagram. Like, social media is social media, and it definitely affects how we move forward if you're not strong enough. Because you can look at things on social media and compare it to your life, and then you're feeling even hurt about that. So you're looking at how someone proposed to their significant other, and now you like, well, why you ain't do that? Why you just sit up there and do? Because he did it how he wanted to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, this type of stuff is getting ridiculous, and I'm calling it out. I am calling it out. It's ridiculous. Social media is plaguing. It's like it's a cancer if you do not use it in the correct way. It is breaking up relationships. It's breaking up homes. It's breaking up families. If you do not use this correctly, it can literally damage your life. And so this is what this show is about. It's about people going to the public about things that may have hurt them. And I just want people to understand those impulsive reactions on social media, like Chef said, they're stamped, they're time stamped. And meaning a lot of stuff is now screen recorded, it's screenshotted, it's forwarded, it's saved, and it's shared so many times your head is spinning. Soon as some go, I don't even see how many times somebody can share somebody committing suicide, about to commit suicide, and everybody's sharing it. Call the police.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's shared 15,000 times immediately. What are we? Where are we? Like, where have our connection gone? Where have our love for each other gone? Like, this is getting, like, beyond me, okay? Facebook blasting is putting them in a situation that is either embarrassing or compromising their reputation. And this is what, Chef was talking about. I want to do a reminder. Facebook post that defames the character of another person can be grounds for a lawsuit. So yes. I am going to get into the legal ramifications of what it is that we're talking about tonight. Again, if you are just joining, please share this with your family and friends, because people are going out and they're blasting people, and you don't even know. You can have a lawsuit and then your doggone check be getting garnished. So I'm going to need you to think before you post. Think before you say anything. Think before you gossip. Think before you trying to blast somebody and talk bad about somebody, about different relationships and situations that, where things happen. If it's public knowledge, by all means, you're sharing a post. But once you start coming out with stuff that may be true to you, and now you're making it true for everybody else, those are grounds for lawsuits.
Yes.
That's where I'm about to, lead the conversation. So did you have anything else?
No, I want to talk about this lawsuit.
Go ahead.
I agree 100% with that. And a lot of people just don't know that maybe the person that you were scandalizing her name, right? They have grounds for a defamation of character lawsuit, but they just showing you a little mercy and grace. Right, because you got loose with it, right? So you want the story bigger and bigger, so you start continue to add to it, right? Now, people paying attention have to say, hey, let me start with story 1, chapter 1. Now they're in chapter 4. Man, this story done changed a lot. It's been a lot that has been added to it, right? So that's what happens when you get into the defamation of character. Once you put something public, and then it's made discovered that it was false. Okay?
Yeah.
Somebody showing you mercy and grace, believe me.
Again, so personal. People may think there's nothing wrong because it's so easy to post, but if you discover that someone posted either photos or videos of you or your family on social media site without your permission, the first thing is to know the privacy of that site. A lot of these different privacies, these sites, they're either merging or they are their own entity. But you need to know the privacy practices of whatever site it is before you move forward with, if you feel like you've been violated. Okay? But according to nylaw.com, if the images or videos belong to you, there are 3 ways that you can control, including citing invasion of privacy, defamation, and a violation of rights publicly. And that's for commercial purposes. So if somebody take your information and they make a commercial out of it, they getting famous off of it, you know, they're using your information. These are grounds for a lawsuit. So again, if you are just joining, we are talking about how flippant people are on social media. You're putting all your business out. Either you're hurt, something happened, you want them to hurt, and now you're going after this person's character. You have to be careful with that. You can get sued, and you can get in a whole lot of trouble. So I want you to be careful with that. And if you see someone's rights being violated, if you know a person's character, report, and report. There is an option for people to report. If you see some stuff, you see somebody getting smacked up, this is what, listen. Help Florida today. I seen a video of a woman getting kicked in the face. Now, I don't care if she a crackhead, if she is on the street, if she a bum. I don't care what the situation is. She just stole $1,000. You're recording yourself kicking somebody in the face with a boot on.
Yeah, I think I've seen that.
What in the world are we, like, what's happening? That's something that you have to report. That's not okay. And whoever recorded that, that's not okay. The young lady that got beat to death and somebody recorded it, it's not okay.
Oh, in Cancun.
And I'm sure the lady, she was hurt. You know, some ramifications that we don't even know, not of. Absolutely. We don't know the whole story.
Absolutely.
But I'm sure something happened. But guess what? It was public. Public hurt. Now, her family got to see this for I don't know how long. This woman getting beat to death, stumped, kicked down, beat in the head, and everything else. Public hurt is real, and it is detaching us from our human nature to love one another and just be there for one another. It's like people like drama, so unfortunately, when it's out there, it's out there.
Yeah. I think I said on some previous shows, people we're being overstimulated, and people they're just they're coming down with a need to overshare, right? Just to overshare, and just not on the topic we were talking about, just oversharing, period, right?
Yes, oversharing is a real thing,
and that's a real thing. And so you have to sit down and get control of this. And sometimes before you just push that button or share that video. Like you said, think about maybe a person's family or how it may affect their children.
Yeah.
Right? Just before you do it, right? But it all depends on a person's mental state, too, because sometimes they may not have any empathy.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And
it's
that is common.
Yeah.
That's common, like with a narcissist personality. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that. So some people, in their mind, they're doing right. Right? Now, the only difference, I'm going to shoot back 2 years ago when I was growing up, there was no social media. So you may have shared it with your mom, uncle, auntie, and they would sit back and listen, right? And it may have been maybe a situation you had with a good friend or maybe someone you were dating, and they would listen to you. And I remember this one thing. After you were done, they would look at you and say, okay, so, but what did you do? It's no accountability. No one's asking, what did you do? They just sit in the likes. I know that's right. Say it loud, whatever. We have to just start having accountability, even for other people, if that makes sense, like they did back in the day. So even if you listen to your friends, you look at this post, I dare someone to type in, so what did you do?
So right? what did you do? What happened?
Did you do? Yeah, let's talk about this thing, right?
I mean,
bring some accountability back to it.
I do on a personal level. You know, anybody that's in my life on a personal level, you know, I usually send an inbox. I actually tell people if I see stuff like that, it's just, you just blurt out all your business, knowing you about to be right back with the person the next day. It's like, man, take that up off of there and go sit down somewhere now, because you're doing too much. So if we have that relationship with people, we can just hold them accountable.
Yeah, I know. I hold my friends accountable.
I hold my friends accountable. I don't know what people be on nowadays. Like, even, when we leaving out, just anything. Like, what?
I don't care. I hold my friends accountable. Serve me with some divorce papers. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? We legally separated as friends, but I'm going to tell you. You get what I'm saying? So you have the ability to do that with your friends. And not only that, Q, did you have more to add for the legal part, or were you done? Because I didn't want to overtalk that part.
No, I'm sure I do. But, you know how I go. Go with the flow.
So, and let's look at this thing now. Sometimes we look at our children and be like, man, what's wrong with these kids? You. They're looking at you.
Oh, you said that.
Right. So your kids are looking at you make this post. They're your Facebook friends also. So they're turned around and they call it cyber bullying. Yeah. Other kids in school. And then you go to school like, I don't know where he could have got that from. Well, let's look at some of your posts. You.
Wow.
Just from you. Parents, we got to slow down with this thing, right?
Yeah.
If you want to be understood, get on your knees, pray to God, and He going to understand all your hurts.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah.
He will. He will.
That is true.
And He's not going to tell nobody.
I want you guys to know this is a live show. You can call in at 313-266-2811. And I want to ask the question, is forgiveness non-existent now? Is this something that we just look over? Because when if you're a believer and you go in the Word, Matthew 18:21, just to, be exact. Then Peter came to Jesus and asked, Lord, how many times shall I forgive my brother or sister who sins against me? And up to 7 times. Jesus answers, I tell you, not 7 times, but 77 times.
Yes.
Forgiveness is a part of our healing process, and it creates a very hostile and volatile situation if it's not accepted. You may not get an apology from people that have wronged you. And you may not be able to tell the world and get these loads of validations from everybody just to say, oh, girl, you right, or dude, you right, or, man, you right, or whatever it is. You may not get that. But being able to forgive someone is not only for them, it's for you. Forgiveness is for you. It's like drinking poison, expecting somebody else to die when you don't forgive. It's like, what are we doing here? This person has moved on with their life. We holding, and we all speaking from experience. We speak from a place of knowing, right? So I know that I've held some things to the point where if you talked about that person, you talked about the situation, I have a frown, or I'll be like, whatever, I don't want to talk about it, or whatever. That means it's still there. You're still feeling it. But when you make that conscious decision to say, you know what, I'm not holding on to this anymore. This does not benefit me. And you release that, that's another step in becoming the best version of yourself. And so that's what I want you to understand tonight. And I thank you guys so much again for joining. I see you guys there. Thank you so much for joining. If you know somebody that can use this, somebody that be quick to go to the book, to go to Instagram, to send those subliminals, all that stuff, send this to them.
Absolutely.
Because it is not helpful. It's not helpful to be that way. It's not helpful, to even put yourself out there that way. Because not only are we, slandering somebody else, we're slandering ourselves. And so I have a few words to kind of set the tone for what's happening when you can get in some serious legal trouble. And so the first thing I'm going to talk about is slander. And that's the action or crime of making a false spoken statement damaging a person's reputation. And with that, it's character assassination. On top of that is defamation of character, which happens when someone is untrue and damaging and presenting as a fact to someone else. Welcome to Creative Emotions. We have a caller. Thank you so much for calling. Who am I speaking with?
James Craig from the city of Detroit, city of Los Angeles, city of Cincinnati.
Hi, James Craig. Thank you so much. Hi, Chief James Craig. Thank you so much for calling in tonight.
Well, I'm so intrigued by your show, and I wondered, you're talking about forgiveness.
Yes.
I wanted to tell a short story.
Please.
Because I think it's important. So
you
let me know when you're ready.
Go ahead. I'm ready.
Well, I remember when I was the chief in Cincinnati. Cincinnati certainly had its challenges back in the early 90s. 14 African American men were shot by Cincinnati police officers over a 2-year period. The outgrowth for that was, they came under federal oversight. Certainly, there was a lot of distrust for the police department. Now, I wasn't the police chief then, so I kind of came after all of this. But when I got to Cincinnati, I could see that there were still a lot of wounds in the community, and certainly the community did not want to forgive the police. The police didn't know how to bridge that gap. So I came in with a whole different approach.
Okay.
One that I took from both Detroit and Los Angeles. And so when I got in there, God forbid, the most unfortunate thing could have ever happened. Probably within weeks of my appointment, a 16-year-old black young man and a group of other young men came into what they had in Cincinnati called the Black Family Reunion. It's an annual event. They came in with guns. They were throwing guns into the venue. We were summoned. We came in. Several of the individuals who had guns ran. One individual, however, was pursued by a police officer and pursued him through downtown on foot, and it resulted in a struggle. It was during that struggle that an officer who happened to be white, a young man who's African American, 16 years old, was in front of a Fifth Third Bank, and they were struggling over this gun. And at some point, the officer felt that his life was in danger, and he took out his sidearm, fired a single shot into the young man. When that happened, the gun dislodged, but it was a fatal shot.
Okay.
So what happened next was that there was a video put out on television around the clock, and it appeared, when you look at this video, that this police officer basically assassinated him. Because what people thought is that while the young man had the gun, they believed the young man threw the gun before the officer could use deadly force. Well, that's not exactly how it happened.
Okay.
Not even close. So I was able to pull another video that refuted what was being put out in the environment, that the officer assassinated the young man.
Right.
So I did something that I had never done. I've been in law enforcement now 44 years. I served as the chief of police in 3 different cities.
Yeah.
Totaling 12 years. I went and met with his mother. Now imagine I was the first African American police chief in the city of Cincinnati.
Yeah.
I hadn't been there that long, and I go meet with his mother, and there were probably 10 or other family members that were there. And I explained what happened, and I went on to say that, look, I invite you to come to police headquarters to see the video that we have. And I asked the mom if she would be willing to come in, and of course she couldn't do it, and I understood that.
Yeah,
but the
I
rest
don't know
of
if
the
I can.
family, no. What you think as a mother, Q, as a mother, can you imagine a police chief coming to you, one, offering condolences, but wanted to talk to you about the death of your 16-year-old son?
Yeah.
And it was probably one of the more difficult things I had to do. And I wanted to show the kind of empathy that was sincere. I did. The other family members said, Chief, you knew, we don't know you, but we're going to come to headquarters. They did that. They saw the video.
Yeah.
And it really showed a different story.
Wow.
And so, because Cincinnati was home of unrest, because of, as again, years ago, before that, there was civil unrest in Cincinnati because 14 African-American men were shot by Cincinnati police officers.
Man.
And so, sitting down with that mom, certainly was important for me. It was important for the city. It was important for the family.
Yeah.
Bringing the family in to see the video was important to do as well. And let me just say this: not one bit of unrest, violence after I released, after I met with that family.
Yes.
Nothing.
Wow.
It was still tragic.
Yeah.
It's always tragic whenever, we have to use deadly force
Yeah, for sure.
against anyone. It's always tragic when someone uses deadly force, and I've been on both sides of it. Okay? I've seen a number of police officers. My best friend in life was shot and killed. He was a LAPD SWAT officer, the first LAPD SWAT officer killed in line of duty. So I understand the pain. And so when you talk about forgiveness, fortunately, because I had started to build a trusting relationship community,
Yeah.
there was forgiveness. It was very apparent to me. And again, I think about that mom often.
Wow.
I tell that
That's
mom's story
huge.
often.
That's
So I wanted to
huge.
share that
Even the fact that you were able to stop the train of bashing the police before it even came, before that public hurt, before those videos, kept circulating and, building this bad image of, what happened to be a tragedy. You came and brought another aspect, another viewpoint, another dynamic of it to kind of change that. And so that's really what we need. Even now, like the way people feel, even about the police, it's some hurt. And so every video that I see about the police, like I can't even stomach it anymore. I can't even I can't. I know some of the stuff is valid, some of it is not, but I cannot watch another video that's defaming police, that's defaming our black brothers and sisters. I can't even stomach it. But I definitely commend you for being that change and being that,
Thank you.
that change in what people think we should be, just a go along brother. No, you're making the stands, you're taking the stands, and you're doing what's right. And so that right there is just commendable. So I thank you so much for your call tonight. Thank you so much.
Yes, thanks for sharing.
Thank you for letting me, and thank you for letting me share my story.
Yes, for sure.
Thank you.
I look forward to coming on your platform at some point in the near future.
Yes.
This is one of many stories. You just think about it, 44 years.
Oh, there's so much wisdom and knowledge up in there.
Well, I was around with Rodney King. We all know who Rodney King is.
Yes, listen.
And so.
I'm having you on, and we're going to kick it, okay?
All right. Well, y'all have a great show.
Okay, have an amazing evening.
Thank you so much.
Well.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.
So, Q, if I can just add one thing, I thank her for sharing that story.
Wow, thank you so much.
Yes.
That was Chief Craig, our former Detroit police.
I love that.
And, he's awesome.
Yes.
That's what's up.
So, it's just sticking with the forgiveness. Not only should you forgive other people, forgive yourself.
Yeah.
If you have, because we talked about the victims of social media scandals, defamation of character. But forgive yourself if you were the type of person, or if you were one of them that put the information out, for not telling the whole truth.
Yeah.
And I'm going to wrap it up because we got a few minutes. So forgive yourself. I'm going to tell you the reason why. Okay? Because it was someone on the borderline of maybe trusting men or trusting women or just trusting in whatever it may have been. And your false statements, yes, you push somebody over the edge.
Wow.
Not even knowing it. Maybe you just wanted to profit off of it for monetary gains, or maybe you just wanted a little attention. But forgive yourself for the ones that you affected by your statements. People don't know how deep this is. They look at it as entertainment for themselves, or they want the attention. But it's somebody out there that was just on the edge. They just needed a good word, and they got your bad word.
Yeah.
Okay? Forgive yourself.
Yeah, that's good. That's real good. And so now we come to a place of accountability and what that looks like. No matter what, it all comes back to you.
Yes.
That's the accountability part of it. So if you wish bad on others, you ain't got to look too far, because guess what? It's coming to your door.
Yes.
A lot of things that we do, people don't understand. Whatever you do, it's a seed, whether it's your words, whether it's your actions, your post, whatever it is, it's a seed. It has to go in the ground and it has to come back up. And whatever it is that you planted, it's going to be in your garden. And so that's why you have to be mindful. You have to be very conscious of the things that you do. So what have you planted? What have you put in the ground? What do you keep regurgitating? What do you keep bringing up and bringing to the forefront and giving it all of your attention and your time? I told somebody today, if you worry about yesterday, you robbing today.
With the ski mask.
It's so many different things that can happen in a day, in a 24-hour span. And so many people are just like bogged down by past situations or a hurt that happened and things they can't get over. And it's just like heaviness, and you just messed up, and now it's affecting your health, and now you're sick and all these different things. It's like, don't rob today. Constantly going over yesterday and last week, last month, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago. Because it's robbing you today. Every day is new. So you have the power with your words, and I talk about this all the time. Use your words and your energy wisely. Proverbs 18:21 talks about life and death being on the power of the tongue, and those that love it eat the fruit thereof. So whatever you put into the ground, you have to eat that fruit. And it's got to just let it be something that you love, because, honey, don't nobody got time for that. Don't nobody got time. So some things you can't take back. I want you guys to realize this. And again, if you're just joining, go back and listen to the beginning. You know, my platform is about information, it's motivation, it's encouragement, empowerment, transparency, and you're going to get these good vibes. So I'm not coming on and talking about gossip and talking about things that's just going to tickle your fancy. I'm more about accountability. I'm more about helping you get to the next version of what and who you are. That's what this platform is for. And so a lot of times, you know, if these platforms are not pushed by somebody famous, you know, these get looked at over time, which is cool, because as long as it reach people, that's my whole objective and goal and purpose in having Creative Emotions Podcast, is just to bring the light. And when we're in such a dark place and dark things around us, we want to be that light. You know, so make sure you're being that light. Make sure you're not the person that's publicly hurt and you're looking for that validation. So think about everyone that's attached to you. And think about your own reputation. Like, that's a real thing. I don't think people think about this stuff when they put things out. And you may want love again. You may want somebody to look at you like a potential. You may want to settle down. You may want these things. But what you do in the past, I mean, what you have done and what you're doing currently, if it's not the life that you want, you really need to take inventory and stop doing what you're doing. Like, revamp yourself, reparent yourself, do whatever it is that you need to do. And there is no age for reparenting yourself. Going back and looking at some things and be like, you know what? That don't make no sense. I don't even know why I do that, but that's not helping me. This not helping me. Let me stop lying. Not even a small lie is okay. Like, just doing that inventory and just knowing that you have to look at your own character at this point. You look at your own reputation. Now, you trying to bash somebody else's, but look at your own. You're messing yourself up too. So these are just a few things to think about. Bad things won't last always. We don't have to give our energy to everything. Everything that happens, this is our learning canvas. So you should be learning. If something bad has happened to you, you should be learning. And you should be like, you know what? Okay, I see why that happened. I see what I did. Oh, okay. Like, this is what this is for. Like, I'll be like so elated now at this point when different things happen, things I may have looked at negatively in the past. Now I look at it like, oh, dang, that was my fault. I did it. You know, and just taking that self accountability, and like Chef was saying, just to be able to laugh at it. Just
Yeah.
being able to laugh at, you know, certain things. It's like, dang, I sat there and went through that and I did that. So the last thing I want to say is take accountability for your actions, and whatever went wrong, learn from it.
Learn from
Again,
it, yes.
this is our learning canvas. You have to learn. If you're going through things and you are not learning, the same thing will be repeated over and over with different people.
Absolutely.
And so we have to take that accountability. Is there something you want to leave?
Yeah, I did. I know it's a lot of people. I know some people right now they're going through just what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So hopefully they're watching the show. And I just wanted to share one thing. Just be quiet. Quiet your mind. Mm-hmm. Right? Forget a person. Right? Don't feel that you have to defend yourself. God will handle it. Believe me.
Yeah.
Because he's not going to let people misuse you. Right?
Yeah.
So if you're going through this, just calm your spirit.
Don't retaliate.
If it's adults looking at this, everybody realize it's three sides to the story. It's the Lord's, theirs, and yours, right? So they're just not totally going with theirs. They're just being entertained by it. People who know you, know you.
Right.
Okay, that's all I'm going to say. But
That's a real thing.
yeah. And understand, I'm telling you this from experience.
Okay.
I'm just
He
not
said-
saying it. I mean, I just went through this not even a year and a half ago. And it wasn't easy,
Oh,
but I stayed quiet
being quiet.
and started investing in myself.
That's so good. That's so good. I thank you guys so much for joining us this evening. Remember, I said Friday, 21573 Grand River is Poetry and Conversations. I want you to come out and enjoy a good evening. If you date night, ladies night, fellas night, whatever it is, we have really good grown-up conversation. We have really good dope poets from all over the city, and it's just a real good vibe. And so I want you guys to come out again, 21573. That is Grand River, and that is on Grand River in McNichols, 8 p.m. to 11. There is a $10 cover, but I want you to come. I want you guys to meet me here next week. We might have Chief Craig in the building. Hopefully he can come and bless us with his knowledge and his wisdom. But
Oh, that's what's happening.
I thank you guys so much for joining. Meet me here next week, 6 o'clock. Don't be late. Even if we late, be here. Okay? I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Peace.